Epicenter is an upgraded version of AOIS. We've been working with charter school authorizers across the nation the last 10 years. And now we've just taken feedback from our clients and made the system better. And with technology, there is change. You have to improve it. So we developed Epicenter, which is the upgraded version. It is web-based, so you simply just go to a website. And the website is my.epicenternow.org. And then that will bring up your sign-in page. So once you get your email and get invited to the system, you're going to create your login account. And then any other time that you log in, you're just going to come to the website and log in using your sign-in name and password. And we usually recommend that you create the website as a shortcut on your desktop or even as a favorite, so it's just easier to access whenever you need to log in. So you'll use your sign-in name and password. If you ever forget your password, you just simply click on the link here and reset your password. So that's going to ask you to you need to answer your security question. So when you create your login, you're going to set up a security question and answer. You simply sign in, and that brings you to the home page. So here in the middle, you're going to notice different modules that you have access to. And we'll briefly walk you through each of those modules today. Board Center basically provides a nice overview of your board members and board information. EMO CMO Center actually links you up to if you work with a management organization, it shows what schools work with that management organization. And those two modules, you actually only have view rights. You don't have to make any updates. It's read only, where Bay Mills actually updates the information. So if there's anything that should be changed in those two modules, please communicate that to them if something's not up to date. And then School Center is actually another read-only module, and it provides a nice overview and summary on your school. And then Compliance Center is the one most people get excited about, is where you're going to upload your documents, your compliance requirements. So again, we're going to walk you through each of those modules today. But first I'm just going to talk about what's on the left-hand side here. The My Profile information. This is where you can actually update your profile information at any time. So you can update or change your password, as well as your contact information. So it's very simple. You just click on the buttons and you can update your email address, create a new password, or reset your security question. And the next area is the tasks area. You will also be getting email notifications when certain requirements are coming due. So you'll get automatic email notifications in advance. And it's going to explain exactly what's due and also provide a nice description of what should be included on that requirement or document. But you can also log in at any time and come to the tasks area and see any tasks that are assigned to you. So you can access that information at any time, but you'll also get those email notifications too. And we'll go in more detail on the tasks area in just a moment. The help link, this actually goes to our knowledge base. So it's much like a help guide. So anytime you have questions on how to use something in the system, you can come here. You can search for an answer to your question. So maybe you want to learn how to reset your password. And that will bring up any articles that we've written on how to do that. We also have training videos. So in the future, if you need a recap on the training or you have someone new that comes on, you can actually view our training videos directly from here. And then if you don't find what you're looking for under the help link, you can always contact us using the contact us link in here. Based on what you select as the subject, so if it's a question about a submission, you can select that subject. If it's a technical support question, select that and type in your message. And what that's going to do is route it to the correct person at the institute. So we can answer your question immediately and get back to you. And you, of course, can call us at any time. Our contact information is on the handout we provided to you today. So you can call us at any time. That's what we do. We provide support on a daily basis. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Are there any questions so far? I know that's kind of a lot. Yeah.
Ms. Murphy, the question is pertaining to the user of this website. Is it not for principal, board members, staff?
That's a great question. We actually recommend that at least 2 users at the school have access to it. And it's usually a principal and then maybe an office manager or administrator. So we definitely recommend at least 2 users. That way there is a backup. And this will also go through Bay Mills as far as when you request to add a user, we're going to need to get their permission. So I would just send an email to Bay Mills, and then they can let us know, or they can actually add or invite new users to the system. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
I have a question about the relationship with the management company, because in my status as a principal, the management company is a signed person
To do this, right.
So
yeah, the management.
Why need to have one if somebody is there?
You may want to just log in and see how things are going with your school, how they're doing with the submissions and requirements. So it'd be good for you to have access, but also the management company, of course.
The documents will be of interest for the schools, the document storage.
Yes, and as we go through the demonstration, I think you'll also see why it will be good for you to have access. And you'll have access to all your documents right within the system. Any other questions? Good. So I'll go ahead and show you Board Center. Again, this is only read-only. It's going to list your school board here, the number of seats on the board, and if there are any vacancies currently on the board. You just simply click on your school, and it's going to show as of today who's currently serving on your board. It's going to list the board members. It will show their officer role, start date, and term expiration date. And you can also email all board members just by clicking on that link, and it's going to bring up your email and insert the board members' email addresses right there into your email. You can click on a board member, and that's going to bring you into their individual information. So you have your contact information on that board member, their officer role, service dates, and then their appointment details. So here you're going to see what's all collected on that board member in order for them to be appointed to the board. And it will provide those dates as well. So again, this is read only. You also have access to reports. Each of our modules you're going to see you can access reports. And I just recommend, we're not going to walk you through every single report. But we'll show you one. Just recommend after today's training, maybe go through and see what reports may be valuable to you in your school. For example, the board member directory is much like a board roster. So you can quickly run that report on the roster. We can upload images or photos of each board member as well. And all of our reports you can export. So if you want to export it to a PDF or a Word document, you can do that and save it onto your computer. Can you see okay over here? You also have access to files and data. And this is going to bring up any files or data related to this board. And it's all board-related files. You can select just one file, or you can select all and do a search across the board. Once you have your selection, just click search, and that's going to bring up any documents or board agendas. You can simply click on the file name and view the document. And you can also download the documents directly from here. So you just select the documents you'd like to download, and that's just going to save a folder onto your desktop and place those documents in that folder. Are there any questions on the board center module? It's pretty simple. Okay. Go on to EMO CMO Center. Here it's going to link the management company to the schools. So here you can see Leona Group, which is linked to Academy of Orange and Academy of Waterford. You can click on the management company. That's going to bring up any contacts, as well as what schools are serviced from that management organization. And again, this is just read only. And once you go in, log in, you see anything that needs to be updated or added, please communicate that to the emails. And they have those permissions to be able to update the information. Next is School Center. And this is just going to provide some additional information on your school. So here it's going to show the school and then the grades served at your school. The overview tab just provides some information as far as your address, superintendent, principal, your school board, and then again the management organization. So within School Center, our goal really is just to kind of take information from the other modules and bring it into School Center so we can provide a nice summary on your school. So you can see with School Board, this is actually information pulled directly from Board Center. And then over on the right-hand side, we're actually adding more information to the system. So anytime we make updates, you'll be notified when you go to the login page, because we're continuously making updates and maintaining the system and adding new features. So we are adding additional information over on the right-hand side. So for example, the Compliance Center will be providing a summary here in School Center of how you're doing with your compliance status as well. We have a Contacts tab, which just provides additional contacts on your school, as well as board members. Again, that information is pulled from Board Center. And you can email individuals directly from here by clicking on their email address. What's nice about this, you can run a report on all of your contacts and do a mail merge. So you can export a report, do a mail merge on any contacts that are in School Center. The Operations tab, this is actually a customized tab. We may be adding more, but so far we've added the authorization dates of your school, your current contract dates. Again, this is customizable, so if you know that there's other additional information or if you have ideas to add to this tab, you can communicate that to them. And then lastly, the files and data. This is where you can access any school-related files. Are there any questions on School Center or any of the modules so far?
Those are school-related files that we would submit to the emails, right?
Exactly. That you're going to upload actually right in Epicenter, and we're going to show you that now actually. So you can see with Board Center, you can access board-related files. School Center, it's school-related. But then under Documents and Files, you can search across the board. You can search for any documents. But what's nice is when you're in a certain module, you really just want to look for those types of documents or board-related files, you can do it right inside that module. Yeah?
Are all of the previous documents going to be uploaded to Epicenter?
Could you repeat that?
Are all of the previous documents going to be uploaded to Epicenter? How far back?
Right. Have we made a decision on that?
Right now, we'll be going back to the start of your current contract.
Okay, so the start of your current contract.
But you don't have to do that.
Okay.
We will, yeah.
You will do
That's
Okay.
It's a good question. Any other questions? All right. I'm going to hand it over to Stephanie.
Okay, so the next area that we have is compliance. So this is probably what everybody's been waiting for. Basically, here with Epicenter, what it basically does with compliance is automate it and streamlines the process. It makes your lives easier, it'll make your staff lives easier to knowing exactly what's required from them when, and they can easily see if anything is past due. So again, as Megan mentioned, as compliance requirements come due, as those tasks are added to your queue, you'll get an email letting you know. And in that email, it'll provide you a recap of your tasks that have been queued, and it'll provide a brief description. So you can log in. What's really nice from that email that you get, there's actually a link to log directly into Epicenter. So if you use that link to log directly in, you'll be brought here, right to your tasks area. So you can go ahead and click on your tasks area, and this will provide basically all the tasks that have been queued for your school. So if we go through each of these columns, the task type will always say compliance requirement. If there's any that are past due, those will always be listed at the very top of the task list. And there'll be little stars and it'll highlight that it's past due. So you'll want to make sure you get those in as soon as possible. Next is the entity column. It's basically going to list the school or board that it's for. So basically tasks will be queued both for the school, but any board-related tasks will list the board. Next, you'll see a brief description, so it'll give the compliance requirement title, as well as any other data, such as the school year, the month, the year, any other information you need to know will be listed in the description. Next, you'll see when the task was queued, and most importantly, the very last column will show when it's due. So it'll give you the day, the date, and even the time by when it needs to be uploaded into the system. So again, here, if you're ready to complete your tasks, all you have to do is click on the Open link on the far right-hand side of the Action column. And this will give you some more information about the requirement as well. So at the top, we'll see the requirement title. So we have the board meeting posting for September. We can see the event date is the end of September, and it's due by the end of September. Right now, there's no grace extensions for this requirement, and the compliance status is unsatisfied. The board is already entered in. The file type's already selected. And most importantly, here in the middle of the page, if there's a description or submission instructions listed, you want to make sure you read that information. It can provide you helpful information on what you need to know about that compliance requirement. In addition, if there's a template that you need to fill out or a form, that would all be available for you in that section as well. Again, if there was a template available, you just download the template, fill it out, and submit it for that requirement. And then down below in the metadata section, I'm actually required to enter in the board meeting date for September. So again, you just type in the board meeting date for September. Maybe the meeting was on 9/15/2012. Next, I can see the acceptable file format. So this will tell me which file format the document can be in order to upload it into the system. So right now, there's really no restrictions. It's pretty much all the common file types that I can upload this requirement for. There may be other cases where if it's a financial related document where it's required to be submitted in Excel, it would only list that Excel as an acceptable file format. So that'd be the only format that you could upload into the system. So again, it's very easy. All you have to do is click on Select Files, find your September board meeting posting. So again, it might be on your desktop, My Documents, wherever you have it saved. And after it's being attached, here you can see kind of the progress of it. Right now it's going through a virus scanning. If you have additional files to attach, you can actually attach more than one file to each compliance requirement. So again, if you had another file to select, you just click on Select File and attach the other file that needs to be included. In addition, the first time you come to this page, there is one program that's required in order to upload files to Epicenter. It's called Microsoft Silverlight. So if that program isn't installed onto your computer, when you first come here, there might be a little box that asks you to install that program. So if you see that, you want to install it, get it onto your computer. The only issues we've seen with doing that install is if you're part of a network, you might need to be an administrator in order to install that program. So if you get any types of those messages, you want to communicate that to your IT staff and just make sure you can get that program installed on your computer. But it's a free program. Most computers do have it. But again, if you see that and it's asking you to install it, you want to go ahead and install that onto your computer. So it's really easy once you're done attaching your file or files. You can type in submission notes if you need to send any extra information to the Bay Mill staff. They'll read that when they're approving the file. But if you've attached your files, you can just go ahead and hit submit. You'll get a little message saying that your upload was successful. It'll provide a recap of everything you entered in. You click on OK, and now the task is gone. And then it basically just goes through a workflow process where the staff, the appropriate staff members at the charter school office will get notified that a file has come in. They'll get a task to approve it. They'll review it, make sure it has all the necessary information. They'll be able to approve the file, or if there's something missing or inaccurate on the submission, they can actually return it back to the submitter by email. So if you get a return email saying that your file wasn't accepted, it'll explain why and kind of what the next steps are. So that's really the general process with the compliance requirements. So let's go ahead and do maybe one more submission. We'll do the maybe the board member application documents for January. This is the last one. So again, here I'm actually required to upload any board member application documents for January. So the submission instruction says upload each application individually for each member. Therefore, since we have to upload each individual application, I'm actually going to upload my first application for my first board member since I need to provide their last name and first name. So we go ahead and enter in the name of the first board member application that I'm going to be uploading. So maybe it's John Doe. I would type in his name. I'd go ahead and select his application. And per the instructions, I need to use the task link in order to upload my first application, and then if I do have more applications to upload, I'll actually do that in a separate area. Again, if I had more than one application for a board member to upload, I'd use the task to submit the first one. And then I would actually go back to the home page, go into Documents and Files, and actually use the Upload File button. So again, if I have more than one board member application to upload, per the instructions, I need to use the task to upload my first one. And then here I'd actually go to File, Upload, and upload my remaining board member applications. So again, I'd select Board, select Board Member Applications, select my board, and now I can go ahead and enter in the name of the next person. So again, I only have to do this because I have more than one board member to upload an application for. That way, each application is filed with each individual board member. In addition here, you'll actually get a little message that's saying, just kind of a reminder that if I had an open task for this requirement, so if I didn't go and use the task to upload my first compliance requirement, this is just a reminder that these additional files that I'm sending aren't actually going to satisfy that compliance requirement. But that's okay because I already sent my first one using the task. So that's just a little reminder. This is also the area that you would go to if you have any revised files to submit. So let's say you submitted your task or your file using the task. Maybe a week goes by and you have an update then to an agenda. Since you no longer have the task anymore, this is where you want to come to File, Upload, and upload that revised document. So that's usually a question we get asked all the time. What do I do if I have a revised document to send? I no longer have the task. Well, here you can always go to File, Upload, and send that revised document. And what's nice in the submission notes, too, you can indicate that it's a revised document. So that just gives the reviewers a heads up that it's a revised document coming into the system. So if we actually go back to the tasks area, so here you can see we have 3 remaining. What's nice too, if you want to see your completed tasks, you can click on the Display Completed Tasks checkbox, and that will show all the tasks completed within the past 2 weeks. So you can actually see the files that you just uploaded to the system. So there's the board member application documents that we just sent in. You can select the open link on the far right-hand corner. And this will show you the files that you just uploaded, and the current status is approval pending. So if there's, for example, if a management company has access to the system and there's 4 or 5 users that have access, the first person to complete the task, it will be removed then from all the other users' task dashboard. So it reduces the chances for duplicate submissions. Are there any questions on how to use the task dashboard to complete your compliance requirements before we go into Compliance Center?
Well, I do have a question. When there's a past due, who does the email go to? Everybody who has an account, or just the person in charge?
The past due requirements, basically, it will be listed on your queue every time you log in, so anybody that has access to the system will see that it's past due. And then basically, you'll get what's called a Monday weekly reminder, and that past due requirement will continuously show on that Monday reminder until it's been taken care of. So anybody that has access to the system, they'll get those emails. At your school will get those emails, and they'll show that it's past due. It'll always be listed at the top, basically, until it's taken care of. The staff at the charter school office, they can actually just come into Compliance Center, and they can easily see if there's any schools that have past due requirements. So that's actually where they would go to easily see all their schools and if any of them have any outstanding requirements. So you can see them there too, but you'll also see them in your tasks area as well. That's a good question.
Yeah, this is very helpful. But truthfully, 99% of our submissions are submitted by people that are not in this room.
Right.
And is there any way that we can provide the same level of training that we're seeing today?
Yeah, that's a very good
question.
question.
To do the work?
Yep, that's a very good question. So basically, the training for today is all the school leaders, basically so you know how to use the system. And we've actually scheduled, as you can see in the document that was provided, we're going to have 4 online training sessions starting November 12th. So the information within that packet actually includes all the instructions of how to join those online trainings. And then also, too, those forms that we're passing around to collect who those staff members are going to be. So that will give us their name and email address so we can send them the invitations this week. And then we'll also provide them with those instructions on how to join the online training, too. So yes, they will all be trained as well. We just want to make sure that you also know how to use the system, where you want to be able to go to look. And in case you ever had to upload requirements, too, you'll know how to do that. And as Megan showed you, too, in the help link, there is that school staff training video. So if you do ever have new staff that come on board, they can watch the video. It's 48 minutes long, and it's basically going through everything that we're showing today, too. So it's very in-depth. So I would always recommend that they watch that video if you have new staff members. So
Thank you.
That's a really good question. All right, we'll go ahead and show you, quickly show you Compliance Center. This is basically where you can go to see statistical information on your school, and you can also see all the compliance requirements, whether they're past requirements, future ones, current ones. This is where you can go to see all the requirements. So the first tab is the Statistics tab. This will default to the current school year, and this will just give you a recap of how your school is doing with their compliance submission. So as school leaders, this might be something in particular that you might want to go to and see, so you can easily see if your staff are staying up to date and keep submitting everything on time. This first column is actually the STARS performance rating system, and it's dependent on your on-time percentage, which is automatically calculated by the system, as well as your accuracy percentage. So the accuracy percentage is dependent on the actual content of the files. So again, once they're uploaded to the system, the staff at the charter school office will actually review it, make sure it's accurate and complete. If they have to return files for being inaccurate and incomplete, the system will automatically keep track of that accuracy. And we also have the STARS legend in the upper right-hand corner. So you can easily see if your school has 3 stars, that means that you have a 95% or better for on-time submissions, as well as an accuracy percentage of 95% or better. 1 star would mean that you're at the 85% or better level. So again, as you'll see, a lot of schools always want to make sure that they have 3 stars. And I know, for example, management companies such as NHA, they'll always try and make sure that they have the 3 stars. They do not like to see anything less than 100%. So everybody pretty much strives to keep those percentages high, have a high benchmark, and which we'd like to see. You can also drill down into the compliance requirements by going into the Summary and Detail tab. So the Summary tab is going to show any requirements in the next 30 days, so it'll default to the next 30 days. And this is really nice, it'll just give you kind of a summary of the requirements. So you can see the requirement title, whether it's for the board or school, the master event date, when it's due, and really importantly on the far right-hand side, you'll see the total number of schools assigned, how many have been satisfied, if any are past due, and if any of them were late. So again, this is really nice too for management company users that have access to multiple schools. You can easily see in a just a quick click if any of your schools are missing any files or how many have been satisfied. But if you want to go into even more detail by school, you can click on the Detail tab. And this will show all the requirements and then by school. So again, now we see the requirements, the school it's for, the entity type, who is responsible for uploading the file. So these are the school staff's responsible for uploading them, so they'll get the tasks to complete the task, the compliance requirements. Again, the event date, when it's due, if there's any grace extensions, and then on the far right-hand side you can see the compliance status, so whether it's been satisfied. If it were past due, it'd say past due. If it was submitted on time, you'll see a green check. And if it's past due or late, you'll see a red X. And the very last column is the acceptance status column. So again, right after it's submitted, it'll say approval pending. And then here we can see this file has been now approved by the staff at Bay Mills. So it's good to go. And if you want to actually view the file, you can click on Open. And you can see the files that were uploaded. You can see who uploaded them, who accepted them by our staff. So our staff actually does a review of the files too before they're passed off to the charter school office staff. And then you can see who approved them at Bay Mills. In addition, you can also click on the Expand Selection Criteria tab. So again, by default, these will show the compliance requirements for the next 30 days. But if you wanted to, for example, drill down just by a specific school or board, or if you wanted to drill down by a specific compliance type, or even change the school year that the time frame is looking at. So if you wanted to look at all the compliance requirements for the entire school year, which have been entered in, the November through June due dates have been entered into the system, you can actually change that for the entire school year, select the refresh button, and this would show you all the compliance requirements for the entire school year. And on the right-hand side, you can easily see if they've been satisfied, if they were past due, acceptance status, everything that you need to know. So it's really nice if you have new staff members that come on board. They're not exactly sure what the board member posting looks like, or not exactly sure how the financial statements need to be provided. They'll be able to go back in time and look at all those historical documents. So the last area we have to show you, back on the home page, which we already showed you one section, but again, as Megan stated, let's say you wanted to do a global search. You want to do search on both board and school documents. You can always go into Documents and Files. And this will allow you to do a search on board and school-related files, all the files that have been uploaded into the system. So again, you can select the schools you want to do the search on. And most likely you'll want to narrow down your search, and so you go to the next search criteria, which are the file types. These are all grouped by category in order to help you find the file type that you're looking for. So again, we have facilities, the insurance certificate, financial has quarterly financial statements. Again, you can narrow down your search by a specific type, or you can just click on all. And again, you can click on search, or go to the next search criteria if you wanted to narrow it down by time frame or when it was submitted. You have lots of options in order to narrow down your search. when it comes to looking up the files. So we've made it very easy to find exactly what you need to find. What's really nice too is if you download these files onto your computer, it'll actually add the school name to the file name. So again, if you're a management company and you work with lots of schools and you need to download a bunch of files, when you download them all, it'll put the school name into the file name so you know exactly which file goes for what school. And then in the reports section, we do have a couple compliance reports that I quickly want to go over. So here are the sections for all the reports. We already kind of showed you one report in the board members and candidates section. But there's also reports available here in the compliance reports. If you want to get a calendar of your master requirements, you can run this report and it'll show if you have any compliance requirements and on what day. So this will show it in calendar format. You can even select the requirement and it'll show more information. It'll even show if it's been satisfied. So this is a real-time report that's keeping track of all that information. Adding more reports to this section, we want actually a compliance listing. So if you wanted to get a listing of all of your compliance requirements, we're going to have that report available. So we're going to be adding a lot more to the compliance requirements section. But we also have a report available too within the documents and files section. So if you wanted to see all the files that have been loaded into the system, so if you just uploaded a file and you want to see the status of it, or maybe you want to check to see if one of your employees uploaded the file, you can actually run the information summary reports. And the second one, actually, you have to drill down by a specific school. So if you work with multiple schools, you could run this report. So this would show a summary of all the submissions that have been sent for the month of October. So you could easily drill down, see who submitted them, who approved them. If any of the files were returned, it would even explain in here why it was returned. So again, this is a really nice report if you need to go back and see, maybe again, just to check to see who uploaded a file, see the status of the file. This keeps track of all the information. So again, just as a kind of a quick recap, Board, EMO, and School Center module, all of the three of these modules are read-only for the school staff. Again, if there's any updates that need to be made to these modules, you can communicate them to the charter school office staff. They have update permissions. What's really nice about those modules is it's going to allow them to keep track of just all that information that they have on their schools. You know, quickly get an address or a phone number, or see which EMO is working with what school. That pretty much houses all that information that would have been kept on spreadsheets, different hard drives, is now all accessible online to make updates. A lot of our clients too, even when they're at the board meetings, if they see changes with the board members, they can log right into Epicenter and make those changes right away to the board members because the system's all online. And then Compliance Center will keep track of all the compliance requirements. They'll get notifications when tasks are due. You'll get the weekly Monday reminder if there's anything due in the next 14 days. They'll explain why or what is required in the next 14 days. And then you can easily log in and complete those tasks, see everything you need to know about what's due. If you have any other questions, for example, if you do get a compliance requirement and you're not exactly sure what needs to be provided to it or what you need to include on that document, those types of questions you'll actually want to relate back to the charter school office staff. They'll probably be able to answer those questions better than we could. So again, if you send us a message to contact us and we're just not able to answer it, if it has something to do with what you need to submit, we'll probably route that to the staff member at Bay Mills. So if you have any questions on how to use the system, that's when you'll want to use the Contact Us link. And again, that sign-in sheet that we're passing around, you want to provide the name of the other person that might be actually doing the uploading or the other staff members that you want to include. And we'll actually give that to Pat Tatterson He's going to put together a full listing of all the other users. We'll send out those invitations this week and also include the information for the online training. The first due date in the system is November 16th. So you'll see once you get logged in, that task will actually be queued on November 1st. And again, November 16th is when you'll see the first compliance requirements. Are there any other questions on how to use the system or?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
First question is, who's the person that emails that we would need to relate instructions to?
Good question.
Female. Would it be Samantha or would it be Brenda?
Probably me, but if it's a specific academic finance or children, contact me over Nancy or Mara.
Okay.
So the overall system and
Yes.
no
Okay. Second question is, I know you did the weekly reminder. Is there a way that we can attach it to our calendar? Because even though we get the weekly reminders, some of us need daily reminders.
Good question. That's a question we've actually gotten before. We've talked to our programmers to figure out how we can sync it with the calendars. Right now, it doesn't have that capability, but that is a question that we've gotten in the past, so we've kind of made a note of it.
Yes.
So we've gotten that question quite a bit. So we're going to see what we can do to be able to link this program to the various calendars, because a lot of people use different calendars. We're just trying to figure out how that would work.
Okay.
But for now, you'd still just get the reminders when the tasks are queued, and then you can always log in at any time. To see those requirements as well. So hopefully you'll be getting enough reminders.
Thank you.
Never have enough.
Yeah, never have enough. Any other questions or feedback on the system too? We always love to hear feedback, especially from the school staff that'll actually be in there using it every day or every week. We love to hear feedback, or if there's anything we can do to make the system better, that's what we're here for. We like to think of our clients as kind of our family. So if there's anything that we can do for you to make this system better, we're always open to more feedback, and we're looking forward to working with you guys, helping you. Our staff, that's what we do. We're here to help you, make sure you understand the system, and make sure that everything goes smooth. So.
I believe there's an area under Contact Us, new feature suggestions. So if you ever have any suggestions on how to make the system better, send us a message through good.
And as Megan said, we've been doing this for about 12 years now, so we've gotten a lot of different feedback, and we've pretty much put a lot of that feedback from our clients into the system. And what's nice about having this modular architecture is we can just continue to add on more modules to the system. We're looking at possibly a charter application module, rolling in E360, so there's a lot of capacity for the system. So we're really looking forward to the future and just really kind of assessing what our clients' needs are and just continuing to add those modules to the system. So. And again, if there's any questions, feel free to contact us if you need help with the system, or the staff at the Turner School office are great, and they've been really great to work with and provided us with all the information that we needed, and we're looking forward to continuing the relationship. So. Thank you.